Hello again, my friends, and welcome to my Media Museum. My name is Will, and I'm very happy you've chosen to spend some time with me today. And as promised in the last episode 48, this being episode 49 of our A to Z sorted 45 RPM vinyl records collection, we've got the Yardbirds doing For Your Love. And this one does have Eric Clapton playing guitar on it. Him and Jeff Beck both were in the band at the time. But if you look up the info, this was primarily Eric Clapton guitar solo and guitar effort with the band. The album after For Your Love was the A-side had studio work with Jeff Beck, and the B-side was live with Eric Clapton. And that was pretty much the end of Clapton's efforts with the band. So he was only on 3 albums and not fully on the second or third one at that. But it's a great song. And the B-side being a song called Heart Full of Soul, which you'll notice this is a memory lane, so this is a reissue. They note in this one is July of '65, and For Your Love was April. So that's not an original edition, but it is a great piece of vinyl to have in the collection. Love to throw For Your Love on every now and then. Now I want to step back just a minute. In the last episode, I was showing you this Here I Go Again by Whitesnake. And I wanted to look up and get my facts straight because I knew it had been re-recorded. It was originally recorded in 1982 on the Saints and Sinners album. And it was re-recorded in 1987 for the self-titled Whitesnake album. But it was re-recorded again for this 45 vinyl. That's why it says the original version available on the Whitesnake Geffen Records release, and that's not actually true either. That's the original version of the re-recording. You have to go back 5 years to the Saints and Sinners album for the actual original version of the song. So if you have heard this song and you know this song well, there's actually 3 versions of it: the original version, the re-recorded version, and this vinyl 45 version that probably got a lot of radio airplay at the time. I'm not sure which one you're hearing on the radio now. It could be the album version or it could be this. But I wanted to get my facts straight. I wanted to take the moment to look it up so I could share that information with you because I knew it had been recorded more than once. And I just wanted to make sure I got the story straight there. All right, a United Artist release here. And we've got the Zombies doing Time of the Season for Loving. And yeah, I did a horrible job of singing that, but that's basically the tune of it. And I did some work with the band back shortly after high school, and they used to play that song, and they did a jammed up version of it and got really great response from the audience. When they said they wanted to do a cover of it, I was like, really? No, man. But they actually did a great job. And I'm not going to mention the band because they're long defunct and no one's that ever made it anywhere. But I had some fun running lights and sound for them, and many good nights down at the bar in those early 80 days, mid 80 days, I should say. B-side is being Friends of Mine. And the whole point of that long-winded story there was just that this song is special to me and brings back some really good personal memories. All right, we've got a few ZZ Tops here to share with you. So they're going to be a nice string of them here. Probably could just about have done a ZZ Top episode if I'd have went through the other boxes and put them all together. And those videos do seem to do better on the group. They seem to get more views than these mixed ones, but I like doing the mixed ones. To me, it's fun. It's kind of just like when I have friends over and we go through the 45s and I throw on random songs. You never know what's going to pop up next. And these A to Z boxes, of course, you've got an idea because it's alphabetical and the groups singles that I have are all grouped together. But anyways, ZZ Top doing LaGrange. And you notice it's clearly marked as a mono version of LaGrange. You're not going to hear that on any of their CDs, probably. Maybe if you get a box set of theirs, it's got some comprehensive compilations of their early work. But 1973 mono version of Lagrange, and the B side has the mono version of Just Got Paid Day. Got me a pocket full of change. Love ZZ Top. Absolutely love ZZ. They did some great work back in the day. I loved them long before Eliminator come along and they hit the real big time. But Manic Mechanic was a big favorite of all my friends. And I definitely love Diablo, however you want to pronounce that album. That's probably my favorite one, with Cheap Sunglasses and Nationwide. A lot of really great tunes, long before they hit the big commercial big time. But here we've got a stereo version of Tush off of Fandango, which was, yes, also a very good album for ZZ Top. And the B-side being Blue Jean Blues. Again, the stereo version. So probably not any different than what you would hear off of the Greatest Hits album. And next up, we've got I Thank You. And this one's rather interesting because if you look closely, you notice it says promotion. They didn't even bother to put it in one, like the hyphenated. You really had to hyphenate that to get it on the label. It's a promo copy. But usually it'll say promotional, not for sale. It does say not for sale over here on the other side, but I just think it's kind of silly the way they had to break up promotion. Didn't even say promotional or copy or anything. So, not sure how this came out as a promo. I don't know if it was sent to DJs or was a freebie giveaway with something else. But there's the album I was just trying to pronounce a minute ago. Feel free to correct me in the comment section down below if you know how to pronounce it correctly. I do have some problems pronouncing things from time to time. Names get really hard, especially when they're not pronounced the way they're spelled. And a lot of titles can be difficult to get out. B-side of this is the mono version of I Thank You. I didn't point out that the other side that I showed you was the stereo version. So that makes this one a really special platter to have if you want to hear that mono mix. And I know there's some of you out there right now that are going, mono? Why would you want to hear mono? Why would you care? Well, the mono versions were best for AM radio stations that could only broadcast in mono. Stereo versions were used for the FM stations that could broadcast in stereo. And a lot of the times, especially in the case of Jimi Hendrix and a number of other artists in the mid-late 60s and early 70s, they would do completely different mixes and sometimes completely different recordings for those mono versions. So you listen to a stereo version, flip it over and listen to a mono version, you may have a different guitar part, you may have a slightly different vocal. It's completely different remix in a lot of cases. Sometimes, yes, they're just fold downs. They just take the stereo, blend it all into one single mono channel and call it the mono version. But that's not always the case. You can't just assume that's what it is. So sometimes these mono versions are really cool to have because they are different in various ways. So anyways, moving on. We've got another ZZ here for you, and this is getting up to that commercial era that we were talking about. Give me all your loving, all your hugs and kisses too. Off of Eliminator, which was probably their highest selling album, and when they really hit the big time. And the B-side being If I Could Only Flag Her Down. And like I said, I was a big ZZ Top fan before. It's kind of like a lot of bands, like Metallica with the Black Album. You know, you're a big, huge fan of the band. Then they have an album that comes out that just shoots them up to the stratosphere, and they get immensely popular, and you're like, you know, I liked them before they went so commercial. But, you know, they're in it to make money and to be successful, and you can't blame a band for doing what they do to become successful. All right, here's ZZ Top Afterburner picture sleeve. You've got the old car there flying around the earth and moon. Stages. And the B side of this is kind of plain. Just got a little bit of information and no pictures or nothing really great. But the label there for you for Stages, being the A side, and the B side, Can't Stop Rockin'. All right, the last ZZ Top one we've got for you here, and probably the one that's going to wrap up episode 49 for us, is Sleeping Bag, which, interesting positioning of the goatee there. Got a little bit, again, just some information on the back of the picture sleeve, and no more pictures or anything to see there. But we've got Sleeping Bag, and the B-side being Party on the Patio. And technically, that finishes the A to Z sorted collection, but not really, because I got to this point in the box and I realized, because this was back in 07, 08, when I sorted my entire collection out, categorized them, and stored them away in these boxes. So then I've got an A to Z sorted new releases stack, which is probably going to take 2 or 3 episodes to show you as well. So we're going to start over in episode 50 with A's again, and there's going to be some Jimi Hendrix. I found that Chuck Berry. I don't know how I got into the new releases, but probably because I was playing songs for friends one night, and it just got mixed into the wrong place in the box. But I found that original Chuck Berry that I bought at Sears up on the second floor way back in the day when I was a kid. Not when it originally came out. I'm not that old. But it was a song that I wanted, and I went and hunted down, and I got a reissued copy of it. And it'll be interesting to show you what's on the B side of that as well. So come on back. There's more to see.